whenever you I think if you're in retail or if you're, in terms of creating a space like this, where people come in your door and you're in charge of it. Like I've run Facebook groups and it's very similar principles of it's safe space creation. So you are creating a safe space that people come into and engage with whatever's going on in there. And the principles of that I learned in when I did training with the Cancer Council in how to run a support group. So how do you create a safe space for people? And honestly, I engage the same principles here. It's about setting an energy, setting the guidelines, saying this is what's acceptable here and this is what isn't acceptable here. I mean, in a retail space, it's fairly obvious. Don't break my stuff, don't steal my stuff, don't abuse me over the counter. Don't hold me up and rob me. Those sorts of things are obvious. But it's also about how do I behave? How do I make people feel safe? How do I engage with them? What kind of ergonomic space do I set in order for people to feel safe in here? What's my fitting room like? Does that make people feel safe? How do they feel when they're in there? How do I engage with them when they're in there? Those sorts of things. I feel those things are really, really important because it's about energy. It's about the way people feel when they come in and they're in your space. I once read a quote by author Anne Lamott. She's one of my favourite authors. And she was quoting someone else when she wrote, there's only two things that people really want to know, and that is who's in charge here and how much do they love me. And I think that if you, when you're creating a safe space, you keep those two principles in mind. People want to know who's the boss. Who's the boss here? They also want to know how much do I matter to what's going on here. So do you see me? Do I matter here? And in retail, I believe those two principles are really important. That whoever is on the floor lets people know that I'm in control. I'm in control of this space. You're safe. You're safe here. I gotcha. Great. Are you having fun? Everything's great here. This is a good vibe, and I'm in control of that. And the other thing they want to know is, do you see me? And so you always acknowledge a person when they come into the shop. I see you. I see you. Like, thank you for coming in. What are your needs today? Do you have any needs, or are you just, do you want to be left alone? I can facilitate that too. It's okay. Everything's safe here. So, like, these are the things I've learned. It works in a support group. It works in a Facebook group. But funnily enough, it also works in a retail space. And you can always tell a shop that's, when you walk in and it's like, oh, I just don't want to be in here. Or the girls are amongst themselves. And, I'm not going to pick on any particular place or anything like that. But I think success in a retail space, that for me is what that's about. It's about setting a tone, setting a scene, and creating a mood and a sense of safety for a customer. I don't even know how I got onto that. Anyway.
It's okay. It doesn't matter, as long as we got onto it.
That's useful.
Yeah,
that's useful.
It's all useful.
Yeah.